All right, welcome back to the Duo podcast episode. Here we are. Life, curveballs.
Yeah.
Fucking, what else?
Yeah, so I guess you have a little crazy story. It just happened last week.
Yeah, so for the listeners, I guess we just that's what we do, eh? We just share the shit that, that triggers us. Yeah, so just found out my dog's pregnant. My little Chihuahua, and my Vizsla impregnated it. Within 3 days, I'd had a child, and the child was a Vizsla cross Chihuahua, and then it wouldn't take to the mother's milk, so we had to bottle feed it, and then it wouldn't take the bottle, so then we had to take it to the emergency vet and get it tube fed. Then we realised it was staring down 5 weeks of every 2 hours having to tube feed a dog if it didn't take the mother's milk, and the mother was in so much pain from the C-section, the dog was too big. So long story short, yeah, it's been a fucking wild ride. Very triggered. Even today I feel bad. You know, I feel like I love this dog. You know, I loved it. I only knew it for 24 hours, but it's like, the fuck, I can't not sleep. I can't. I got to work. Jamila's got to work. It's fucking hectic.
Yeah. So where's the dog's at a foster care? Right?
Safe haven. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's getting well looked after. It's on foster milk, so it's still getting nipple of another dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just sad that I couldn't get it to latch to my other dog, but also my other Sweet is so much pain, man. She's a different dog now.
Really?
Yeah. It's fucked.
Yeah.
So but I mean, she still is in a lot of pain and stuff, so I need to get her painkillers today.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Just because the breeds are so it's for people listening, it's like a really small dog and like a big dog. So usually you wouldn't think it'd be able to have sex.
Yeah.
But they somehow did it.
And somehow, man. And I was unaware of it, so I didn't even know she was pregnant. Like I knew she had bigger nipples, but she didn't look pregnant. And then the X-ray shows that the dog was like pretty much like half her size, but up in her rib cage and wrapped around her back legs. So it's a miracle, really. I don't know how it even worked. It was one puppy.
Yeah. Look, it's good that she's turned out all right. And this dog will turn out all right too. It's survived, you know?
Yeah.
It's a random, it'll be a cool dog, man. Vizsla cross Chihuahua. What is it?
Yeah,
We don't even know what that looks like when it grows up.
Yeah. Even, I have no idea. It's nuts. But I'll show you a quick photo, Cal.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it looks like kind of looks like a Vizsla cross Chihuahua.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's from the people that adopted it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So we're going to do a short one today because we both got a client in about half hour. But we got some questions that people wrote in. We'd like to get into it. And also new is Queen. Queen is coming out for us soon. So
shout out to the sponsors.
Yep. Shout out to our sponsors, Corrective Culture, bringing out Queen and King. Queen, for people listening, it's our female product, and it would be cool with King and Queen next to each other on the shelf, and for couples and have that archetype attached to it. But it's liver, fallopian or bovine liver, fallopian tubes, and uterine tissue. So it's just the sex organs of the animal, which tribes used to consume, still do consume, especially around prenatal, postnatal, menopause, all that sort of that setup. So, you know, if you've had that area damaged post-birth, tribal wisdom was eat that tissue because it's similar amino acid profile, very identical to what you need. And I've just seen good I looked up good stories of people that consume that sort of stuff. Obviously, I don't know where the fuck they find it, but and they reckon it's a world of difference for them, eh? And it has to be. The liver's going to be gold. But it's all in capsules, just so you know, so you don't have to taste that.
Yeah.
But I think, just really excited for that. It's a pretty unique product too, and it's very hard for us to make an amount of it that will, it'll probably always be sold out, at least for now.
Yeah, until we can find or source, where we can get more. But organ meats are becoming more popular, so I feel like it'll be easier.
Yeah, hopefully
soon.
Yeah. Because in comparison, the amount we sold in King in the first 2 days, it will pretty well be our year's quarter for Queen, which will probably sell out in the first day.
Man, it's just where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Dude, there's that many animal cows being killed for meat.
Yeah.
There's
and they're just chucking all that stuff away.
They're chucking that stuff away. There has to be a way.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out.
Yeah. So that's what's next.
Queen's the finishing kind of touch to our business empire, because we wanted to we wanted, King was a success and we're frothing on that. And I feel like that's just at its baby steps. But Queen's like the
two
next,
together.
the two together is really what our goal was. And then the app, and then we'll keep pushing into the app and making that better for people who want to follow along and join the journey and get healthy.
And a cool idea I had was I want to create a fertility, since that psychic told me I'm good at getting girls pregnant now. It's in the back of my head. And I'm like, I think about all the stuff that a girl should do if she wanted to get pregnant, that they're probably not really being told so much besides from a supplemental perspective and those sort of more superficial things, but like a deeper level of trying to get pregnant is want to create a PDF to go with Queen. It's a free PDF that everyone can have. So when you take your Queen, you can also follow these principles, especially if you're trying to get pregnant or just have the healthiest baby as possible.
Just the basics.
Yeah.
It only needs to be basic too. It's like, because if you follow the basics, shit changes.
Yeah. And we'll do one for King too, man.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon we've got to do it for
guys'
both.
sperm count matters just as much as the girl for getting pregnant. Like we always just think about the chick, but if guys got weak sperm, then they don't stand a chance, So just those foundational high testosterone basics. Like guys should be doing some form of physical, something around like other men, that helps a lot. Something competitive around other men, that definitely helps a lot.
Fuck, that's sick, man. Like no other product's going to come with a PDF that explains how to change your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know why, It seems so obvious.
I just don't think I think when you do things for money, it just backfires. Like I know obviously things are a little bit about money because we need it and we want to be successful and blah, blah, blah. But really, if you want to create something like King or Queen or a product, and you're doing it for the right reasons, like to help people or to empower people, it works. It's different. And I think like if you make a product and you don't really care, you just want to kind of get sales, it's just a completely different.
Yeah. And Harry, what do you say about like, because our guy that runs all the back end sort of stuff is so into all the
gay porn.
into
He's nodding his head.
into all the marketing side of things and this all that sort of stuff. And it's cool. He went to the psychic the other day and she goes, "You're individual, like video." She didn't know he worked for us or nothing, like doesn't know we'll know each other. You're individual. And then she go, "And I know you see the way to do it and you see what everyone else is doing wrong, but don't worry, one day they'll know that what you're doing and they'll see what you're doing." So what did you say about you like give it all away for free or something? You were saying that? Sick.
Yeah.
So if you didn't hear that through the mic, probably
give it
wouldn't
all
know if
away
he
for
goes
free.
just give it all away for free and stop like, and what did you say? And give it away until you ask or something, or?
You give until people ask how they can help you.
You give until you ask how people can help you. And that's such a good fucking thing, eh? It's like, because we were kind of doing that anyway, which is weird. Like our business model was built on giving shit away to help people for like years before we even...
Well, it wasn't even a business.
No, it wasn't a business.
It was just an Instagram
I know,
page.
isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But really
it turned into a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a great example of a bit how a good business model can thrive if you just want to fucking help people and you just put it out there and like, because we didn't really know if it was going to do well, it's just like we just enjoyed doing it and it was easy. So find something you fucking love and just go for it, eh?
Yeah. It's like the cleanse. The cleanse wasn't a business. The cleanse was just for clients.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just grew into word of mouth spread that
Dude,
way.
like remember when we bought the gym, or we didn't buy the gym, we rented the gym, but like, and we got all the stuff and we did all our numbers and we're like, all right, so we need to run this many classes. We need 45, only 50 members available. Like that'll help pay the rent.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to be balling because we can take clients.
Yeah.
And dude, how fucking different is it?
Yeah. It all just happened in a different way. Eh?
Yeah.
The world did it to us. Here's a cool, so some people wrote in some questions. We've got a few of them here. Cool one is from this guy. Oh, did I screenshot this? Where is it? Yeah, he goes, okay, starting as a CHEK practitioner, what is your main advice? Okay, so this guy, starting as a CHEK practitioner, what is your main advice? What do you say to that, Jake?
I think that the most important thing at the start is like getting your knowledge to like IMS2 level at least, and then and also figuring out what you want. But my advice would be, you've got to cut the cord of being scared to take clients. Like you've got to just do it. And you've just got to put yourself out there. I see so many people that just like don't take that little step that just goes, this is who I am now. I'm taking clients that, you know, it's like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most people don't take that step. They want to just get too much. They want too much knowledge. They want to be smart first. And sometimes it's like what Gary Vee says is so true. It's like people enjoy watching you do the journey. They don't enjoy you being right all the time. They enjoy you being humble and humane and being like, well, I actually don't know, but this is what I've learnt. You know, I don't know enough yet. Like that's humane and humble. And yeah, so I think just dive in, man. Like even if you're IMS 1 level, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you agree? What do you
Yeah,
reckon?
yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, exactly. IMS 1 will be good. IMS 2 is nice.
Yeah, I feel like that was when it comes together and you're like, okay, I got all the assessments now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I guess sometimes at the start you can be a little bit confused because in IMS 2 you get all the infant development stuff and you don't have to use it all, right? You just sort of use whatever part is coming through to you. But advice, yeah, definitely. You learn off bodies. You won't learn from even all the courses and the books. You do learn more from that later on, I find. You get the start with that, but then you'll get with, say, IMS 1 or IMS 2 and then just get a hold of some bodies. And also, this is a huge tip. This is what helped me a lot. And I was with someone yesterday and showing her, and is use your own body to learn from. So I would spend hours in the gym myself playing with shit and seeing the way it acted on my body and the way it would change my posture and whatnot. And using feel more than what you think you're meant to do or what the technique video showed or whatever. Like you try and feel the exercise and feel what feels right, and then connect your clients to feel. Because that old Maya Angelou quote is people always forget what you say and did, but never forget how you made them feel. So they can come in from a session and give them their exercises and shit, but you got to tell them why they're getting those exercises. You got to know why they're giving those exercises. Yeah. So it puts you on the spot too. And then if you connect to the way they feel in their body and you tell them why, then they remember how it feels, and then you'll get more success. You know, that Matt Walden quote from, what is it?
Realizing
the benefits make the benefits real. So you got to tell them why they're doing what they're doing, and just sharpen up your anatomy as much as you can. You know, just learn basic anatomy and start to think like what connects to what and what can affect that joint. So if you have like someone standing in front of you with like hyperextended knees, instead of thinking about what's an exercise for hyperextended knees, just think about hyperextended knees. What flexes the knee? The hamstrings flex the knee. What hyperextends the knee? The quad extends the knee. So then you would look, okay, is the quad tight? Is the hamstring weak or hyperflexible? So then you would stretch the quad or release the quad and then strengthen the hamstrings with something, you know, some time and attention stuff, and see how it changes the knee. And that will change the knee. Yeah,
for sure. I think spot on with all of that. And then also like with just even IMS 1, you learn the core testing as well, which was like, for me, really helped with back pain. Like just getting their core firing, like multifidus, inner unit kind of stuff, which you learn like in scientific core. If you fix people's like core like that, or like even just like, you know, if their core's not firing, that inflamed colon, like get them off all the gluten and grains and all that bullshit. Shit just starts to work, and like it's amazing how good this shit is. Like for me, I probably had a little different than Callan because I was a little less confident at the start. So it was really a big thing for me to step into. But once I really trusted the work, I was like, oh, okay. And then I got to trust myself. And now I come into a client, it's just completely normal. But at the start, I remember like my first, you know, couple of weeks taking clients like full on, I was like, oh, no, just self-belief was a big thing. So I tapped into a deeper knowing of like connecting with their soul more so, but not really having the confidence in my hands-on or my skill, you know what I mean? But yeah, enjoy the journey. It's not about the end. Like we're always studying, we're always learning. Like that's what it's about. It's about having fun. Like you never get there.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll learn off their body. Yeah. So play with their body, see what you can to learn from them. Go over the hour if you need to, if you're learning. A good thing that I like to do when I assess people too, for people listening, is during my assessment, I'll treat during the assessment. So I won't assess, walk away, write a program, come back and do it. Then I don't know if it's going to work. Like if I can assess, have ideas, work on their body then and see if it changes it then I know I'm onto it, or stretch something and see if it changes it. But if they go do it for 2 weeks, come back, I won't really learn as much because I won't know what did what. So if I can do one stretch and check something, one release and check something, one exercise and check something, that's the way you can learn, and you won't forget that. Then you won't forget that did that. So that
that's interesting.
that's that helped me learn a lot more and be more curious with what's going on in their body. Otherwise, if they just go away and they're better, I'm like, fuck, what did that? You know, which is still a good thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right. Okay, do you train traditional gym routines anymore or just primal movements?
Yeah, I'm pretty much just an animal that looks at primal movements. I just follow functional patterns and just whatever they're doing on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's
so yeah, I mean, well, yeah, we're all trained different, right? So
Yeah.
you love like deadies and squats and shit. You're strong at that, you know?
yeah,
what I mean?
I like the feeling like metabolically from a deadlift, like that I can eat more and feel good. Like, I don't know, I just feel so strong when I'm deadlifting and squatting.
Yeah.
However, like if you just deadlift and squat, you're just going to be an idiot. So it's like,
Yeah,
you need to integrate like so much into your training, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly. Yeah. So you got to train in different planes of motion to keep your fascia hydrated. So you got to use the cable machine and change the angle from high to low, low to high, and do sort of weird sort of rotational movement stuff that follow the rules of movement and the slings, but that will keep you keep the tissue healthy compared to just doing like hinge patterns all the time and forward and back stuff, because then you just get like trigger points and shit everywhere. But in saying that, the whole isolate before integrate. So my right bicep's smaller, so I do right arm bicep curls, you know? So I'll just do a bicep curl on that arm and it's getting bigger, and I'll use it like that. But once it's the same size, then I won't really do that anymore, and I'll just go back to my normal movements. So traditional, we'll do some, like I don't do like back day, leg day and stuff, and I won't use any fixed machine in the gym. So no Smith's machines, no like fixed pulls, whatever they would be called, like cable pulls. What is that machine called? Like seated rows and pushes, because I even looked up ChatGPT recently about this, because I have a friend that is pretty weak, doesn't do anything, and he just got a gym set thing for his garage, but it's all fixed stuff. It's all like this machine that has like a fixed leg extension and all this sort of shit. And he's already like unstable shoulder and whatnot. So whenever you have a fixed machine, like if you're doing a seated, let's just say you're doing a seated push on a machine at the gym, that's going to use your pec major and serratus and your protractors, right? But it's not going to use your rotator cuff as much because it doesn't need to, because it's fixed. So there's going to be no little subtle stability going on. So you're going to use these big muscles, but your little intrinsic muscles aren't going to be as active, which is true in EMG studies compared to like dumbbells and things that you have to balance. You have to use your whole body to integrate the movement, not just a fixed machine. So that's the problem with that stuff is the stabilizers don't work. You get big prime mover muscles that can generate all this force, and then you don't have the stabilizer to protect it, and then it's more prone to injury, right? It's more prone to, Paul talks about it like you can have a car going on the racetrack that can pin it straight, but it can't turn and just falls off the wheels. It's got no suspension. That's basically the way you got to explain. That's why you have to do some long time attention. That's why you got to, it's hard shit too. It's hard. It's a lot easier for me to sit there with heavy weight and just get a burn and fucking machine. It's so much
reps,
mentally easier.
Yeah.
Even though it's hard physically, it's mentally easier.
Yeah.
It's a lot mentally harder when every exercise I do, my brain's fucking firing on all cylinders. They're thinking, how well can I do it? Where's my shoulder? Where's my core? Where's my lumbar curve? That fatigues your nervous system a bit, but fuck, you move better and you're stronger because of it.
Yeah, for sure. I've been doing prone cobras like every night, like the last week.
Yeah.
Because remember when I got back from Japan, like I just felt like I was a little kyphotic and like more around that T10 area.
Yeah.
And it was like hurting a little bit. Like it felt like a bone bruise. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to cop that. So 1 week of prone cobras, man, and my back just feels like so amazing, because like I could feel the vertebrae coming through the erectors.
Yeah, right.
The rectus spinae. So, or the big back muscles. So I could feel it popping out a little bit. And I remember Tom Meyer's anatomy work, he's like, you want to kind of like push in for it to go through, or pull out for it to come through the back. You know how he talked about that?
I don't remember that, no.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, how could I do that with exercise? And then I was playing with it, and I could feel it just going in and out. And I was like, prone cobras. I just need more tonic fiber muscle around there. So that's a good example of like, if I was just to do 10 reps, which is aiming at hypertrophy, I'll get bigger muscles, but my stabilizers won't be turned on as much.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like Callan said, long time under tension stuff is the go, and I feel like that's the most misleading thing in the whole industry, eh?
Yeah, and it for people listening, a prone cobra is when you're just laying on your stomach and you're sort of doing a back extension.
Yeah.
So you turn on the whole extensor chain a little bit, so you're getting that long time and attention in that back, which is posture, right? Which is standing all day long, sitting all day long. You need that time and attention, and those tonic fibers. When we say tonic, we mean tone. They're holding tone all day long. They're deep to everything. They're deeper to the spine, deeper to every muscle, so they stabilize it very well. So that's why it makes sense. That's why you do endurance tests for. So I had a girl come in yesterday. She has a headache. She gets headaches, and so you just check the neck, right? And you obviously want the whole body, but I had a short amount of time, so I checked the neck and the upper body, and then she couldn't turn her head to the right, and she couldn't side bend her head to the left. So it was a levator scap on the left and upper trap on the right that fucked with the range of motion. So we cleaned that out, but and increased the range of motion. But when I found that upper trap, finally, generally upper traps will create headaches, I've found, right? And there's other things that will do it, but more commonly I found the upper traps do that. And I pressed on the trigger point and it recreated the headache. So we knew we were onto it with that. And why was I saying that? Oh yeah, I checked her cervical endurance. So basically like a chin tuck, you just like lay back on your back and then you just hover your head off the ground for like a centimeter off the ground, but your chin has to stay tucked. So your face is still flush with the roof. She lasts like 13 seconds or something, you know? So you want to see like 30 plus for that.
Yeah.
So there's no endurance in her neck stabilizers or deep cervical flexors. And if the deep cervical flexors aren't active, then you'll find like the SCMs, which are those like meaty sort of like cord thick ones at the front of your neck. They'll be hyperactive to try and stabilize that neck, which then brings the head more forward. And it's this vicious cycle, right? So if you have headaches, you got to correct forward head posture. Here we go. Okay. Where was this one? Oh, how do you, Jake, deal with the ebb and flow of grief?
Oh yeah. Fitting. Yeah, because I'm grieving a lot actually of this dog for some reason. New to me. Ebb and flow of grieving, like there's like anger, sadness, guilt, shame. Like there's a lot of emotions that can come from grief. For instance, when my dad died, I cried so much that my diaphragm, I felt like I was releasing emotion, and that would be, that felt really good. I could get it all out. However, now the tears are gone and I feel like I've processed a lot, and my diaphragm, doesn't feel like grief in the diaphragm anymore. But now, for instance, I feel maybe more anger, which is more like, I don't know, I feel it more in my like chest probably. So you feel anger for them leaving. So I think the answer to the question is like, how do you process it? You allow things to be the way they are and don't push them away. Like if you can like just look into it a little, like sit with that fear. I was thinking the other day, it's like, what are you afraid of? Because people always look away from fear, but you find out what you're afraid of and sit with it. You'll find that it's actually not that scary. Like I have a real weird thing of elevators. I'm scared of elevators because I'm claustrophobic and it's such an irrational fear. But what I'm really feeling there is I'm afraid of being out of control. So and the elevator has control, you know what I mean? Or what's another good example? Like flying in a plane, I'm a little afraid of, because if we get hit turbulence, I don't have any control. And it's the same with psychedelics. I don't have any control, so I don't take them. So I think once you can learn to that's the biggest paradox ever, because you're going to die and you'll have to let go of control. And it's the ultimate letting go of control that essentially will let you deal with that grief, process it, and it might always be there. It could always be there, but just like allowing it, what you need to come up is the most important thing, and be the watcher of it. Don't so much like be the victim of it. Like I've heard some pretty heavy ones, like people with their kids, losing their kids and stuff. And I think that it's hard to tell someone how to act in that way. But I think if you can just be open to what comes up and know that you need to use that in this life to grow, that would be probably my answer to that. Yeah, use it to grow. Use the grief to grow. Don't use it to become your story and be the victim or keep you down. Like it's there for you to grow from, and the best diamonds come from the highest heat. So Yeah.
Of course, you dropped that from fucking somewhere, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know where that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So my advice is just push it down deep. Push it down so deep and let it come out in your relationships in other ways.
or cancer. Yeah, like don't speak your truth and just.
Remember I listened to Bill Burr talk about it? Like, I think Bill Burr was saying like his dad, when he was in school, his dad was just so angry and like whatever, he couldn't sleep. And then he'd get home and get his report card and be like, oh, Bill's not concentrating in class today. And he's because he's not sleeping and shit. And then he gets a flogging from that when he gets home. And it's like, this teacher just thinks it's just him. Like,
fucking, it's so true, eh? Like everyone's got their own world.
Yeah.
It's like, you've got to navigate that. Like we don't have the answers, man. No one really does. Like the best gurus are still human. You know, Osho, fucking all the best things. So like everyone's flawed. So you've got to figure it out. But I think that's why we're here, to figure it out. Like don't become a victim to that shit. Figure that shit out for yourself and go deep into it and sit with it. I think just sitting still for a bit, is the ticket. If you can get out into the wild and sit still. Even like I do it sometimes, just sit in my room and be quiet even for 5 minutes, and it's hard. It's hard to sit alone without a phone for 5 minutes sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I've never dealt with like extreme grief before. Like I think nothing really tops obviously the death of a child, but like death of a parent. I haven't dealt with that, which I know would be, I can't talk from experience for that. All I've had is relationship grief. Yeah. Which
it's hard too.
That was hard. It's definitely the hardest thing I went through, you know?
Yeah.
But and I guess like getting sentenced to prison was like pretty shit.
Yeah, there would have been some form of grief there, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, and I guess I didn't want to sit in that. I remember not wanting to sit in it, so I stayed busy, which probably isn't the answer. Definitely probably isn't the answer. I don't know. But at the same time, it's like all of a sudden that busyness equaled sort of self-love and discipline, and then you sort of just like you forget about it, and all of a sudden you're like over it because I don't know, it's hard to explain, It's like,
well, I think that's your way of dealing with it too, and I think that's a good way to deal with it. I think you don't have to sit there and be a monk, like, because I've been guilty of that before, where everyone's like, just sit in it. So I'll go and sit and suffer for fucking 10 minutes thinking about it, but you don't need to do that. Like I mean sitting in it in more of an aspect of like, don't push it away. Just let it come and be like, oh, I'm dealing with a breakup. This is really triggering. Talk to your friends about it, like whatever that is, but don't just be like, swallow it and push it deep, because that's when it becomes dangerous. Like you did it. Don't
resort to like fucking alcohol and partying. Like I never did that. I resorted to like being as good as I could be.
Yeah.
Like work, training. I still trained. I fucking ate really well. Like I just went really good, and that almost bumps your self worth up. Thinking like, oh fuck, I'm doing all this shit. Sweet, not many people doing this, you know.
And suffering is grace too.
Yeah,
I was suffering so much. I went for a walk around the block at like 2:30 in the morning. Not last night, the night before, because I couldn't sleep. I was having anxiety, and I was like, I'm suffering so much right now. And I was like, I just need to lean into this suffering and just suffer. What's the worst that can happen? And then come yesterday, man, I had this new look of life. Had no sleep, but I was just like, fuck, I've got shit good, man. Sometimes you just need a wake up call.
Yeah. Yeah, same. That's like me. I was like, fuck, I got it good, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting there somehow off it when we're like, we got this fucking gym, we do whatever we want. Like, and I think what helped was like we started selling our products like a month later, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, life just changed so much, and that made me way happier. But I was thinking it would have been way worse if I was also in a job that I hated. Yeah. Fuck, that would have made it way worse. Yeah. Yeah. So that
I know. It's so empowering. Like when I was in Japan, dude, and that's kind of when we first started getting paid, you know, from the business. And I was just like, we've got fuck you money now. Like I don't need to answer to any cunt anymore.
It's not even like lots of money.
No.
It's just that there's no boss.
It's not lots of money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's enough to be like, there's no
enough
boss.
To feel safe and enough to and to not have someone telling you that you have to do this and this and this and shit, which is just fuck. 'Cause when you have a boss and you sort of got to just cop it too, you know what I mean? It's fuck sometimes. Like, especially when you like disagree so much with what they're saying, but you just got to like shut up and deal with it, you know?
Yeah, dude. Fuck.
All right. One more question. So we both got a client pulling up. So last one. What's this? Place to place. Can you talk about? Okay. Can you talk about changing to a healthy lifestyle and struggles etc. with losing friends. Losing friends, yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. That's an interesting one.
That
I
is-
guess because we probably both had to go through that a little bit with yeah, like fuck, man. What surprised me was I had this big fear of losing my friends because like of sharing this kind of stuff where I'm vulnerable and open about my own life and my experience and people seeing me for who I really am.
Mhm.
But what I actually got met with was my two best friends actually really supported me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and including yourself,
Mhm.
like people actually who want to be around you and love you will empower you to change. But if they still want to be poor little me and stay in their box, they're going to push you away. And that is such a blessing.
Mm.
And you just got to fucking run with that and be like, well, I love you, but no, I'm going to go this way.
Yeah, yeah. And I've found like a lot of my friends changed with me in some sense in with health. A lot didn't too, and I feel there's a disconnect there. Like if we were to hang out, I feel like now there's less we have to talk about. We can still talk about old times and things like that, but it's like hard when sort of like they're just on the piss and ordering bags and shit, you know what I mean? But there's still a part of me, they're still my friends. But I know that if you're like, when you're doing it, they all subtly respect you for doing it, and then they don't like the way it makes them feel from them disrespecting themselves. So it's like, I know all my friends, they did support me doing it pretty well. But I can see the ones that make little comments of like, oh, you can't have that or all that sort of shit, because they wish they had the discipline to not have that.
Yeah.
You know, if it's the food or whatever it is. And a lot of them will try and sort of, especially from my experience with like drugs and whatnot, my friends that are still in it pretty hard, they'll try and sort of pull you back into it a little bit and make sure like you're the first one they'll offer it to and whatnot, you know. But they all want to do that too. They all wish they weren't doing their drugs. They all wish they were eating good, you know. So they all really want to do that, and they'll respect you heaps for doing it. And all of a sudden, like you'll be like, I find when I'm saying at some of my like old friends gatherings or whatever, everyone's directing the conversation towards me. You know, it's like they're all telling me, I'm doing this. What are you up to? Like, it's like they're trying to almost,
yeah, it's true.
I don't know whether it's impressed me or I don't know. That's the feeling I have anyway. And yeah, because they want to do it too. And a lot of them slowly will, and you just got to keep doing you, and hopefully they come on path, and it'll happen over years. It'll happen really slowly. Or some people are like, fuck yeah, just jump straight onto it, you know? But yeah, just be solid. Be solid. You don't have to disown your old friends, but only if all of a sudden it's like where you get a real inner knowing, like, oh, I shouldn't be hanging out with this one anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
That's when you can do it. But if you can go have one beer with them and catch up, it's fine. It's not going to, as long as you feel solid enough that it's not going to drag you back into those habits, because you are who you hang around.
Yeah, it's so true.
And that's as cliche as it is. But say if like I go to, like if Jake, you know, if Jake goes to training, it makes me want to go to training more. Or say I'm with my friends and then he's like, we were planning on going to train. He's like, oh, I'm not going to go to training now. I'm like, oh, fuck, I won't go to training either. That happens so much. When I should go to training. Like, and that's with everything. Oh, I'm going to order grilled. Oh, I have food here, but fuck it, I'll order it with you. Like that shit happens in microscopic ways through your whole life.
Yeah, and it's so respectful, like when someone's like, nah, I don't do that, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, fuck, that guy's got it together.
Yeah. Whenever someone tells me they don't drink coffee, I'm like, oof, that's respectable.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah.
I know. I feel so empowered, dude, when I get off coffee for 8 months and like, it's like, oh no, it's too stressful for my adrenal glands. I need to relax.
Yeah, during the cleanse, I'm like, you just feel like everyone doing the cleanse just feels like you're leveled up during it. Like, and everyone around you asks you what you're doing and shit. Like whenever I do that 3-day bone broth fast, man, fuck, my skin gets good and like, I just start to feel really good. Like I just did fucking that, you know, like, even just eating the clean food for 4 weeks consistently, like your body changes so quick. Like the face and like the skin and the tightness. And just that non-inflamed puffiness that's subtly there from those random little meals throughout the day. Like, fuck, it catches up, yeah.
It does.
All right, guys. So we're going to bounce. Both our clients pulled up. But
much love.
This, don't forget to like, subscribe. And this is sponsored by
Queen
coming. And
which isn't out yet.
And it's also sponsored by the gelatin and the vitamin C. Make sure you pair those two together. Fountain of Youth. 1 tablespoon, I do 1.5, but 1 tablespoon of gelatin to half a teaspoon of the vitamin C. Vitamin C helps you absorb the collagen in the gelatin. Drink that in a cup of water. Down it quick. Don't let it sit in there or it turns into jelly, or make gummies. and down that, and do that like even 3 days in a row, even one day, man. But 3 days in a row, watch what happens to your skin. As long as you're not eating shit food too.
Fully. And I feel like I need to shout out, like, because we don't get sponsors, but I would love to shout out Javita, because they've been so fucking good to us. They look after us, and we get fucking all our stuff online from there, like all our like house stuff that we need, even food, all our sauces, like.
Yeah, it's such a good company.
Yeah, it's such a good company, and there's no, they just like the girl actually who owns it, she's really passionate and won't let anything like nothing with seed oils in there and things like that, which is
well, we did the potty with her, so like the Javita way, but it's just cool. In one order, you can get all your shit. And she didn't pay us to say that either, so it's just fucking,
exactly. We would never sell out.
It's just supporting these companies that change the world with the dollar, because you all change the world with your dollar. Remember that. Where you decide to spend your money, that's wherever the money goes, shit flows, you know? So that's how you really do it. So that's why when I think about when I buy organic food and you buy organic food, then all of a sudden some farmer is making more money than the farmer next door sees, oh, he's making this, maybe I should jump into that. And it just spreads.
Yeah, that's how you change it.
So yeah. Anyway, much love, guys.
Yeah, much love. See you next time.